Do you ever feel like your emotions are at the mercy of others? Like you're riding a roller coaster of feelings controlled by someone else's actions or words? It's a common experience, but it doesn't have to be your reality. Imagine this: you're having a great day, feeling happy and content, then someone criticizes you and suddenly you're consumed by anger or sadness. How can one person's words have such power over your emotions? Now, picture this: you're in a crowded room and someone accidentally bumps into you. Your initial reaction might be frustration or annoyance. But what if you could choose a different response, one that doesn't let that moment dictate your mood for the rest of the day? Welcome to Wisdom Woven, where we unravel the threads of wisdom from various philosophies and teachings. If you find value in our content, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel for more insightful discussions. In this video, we're delving into the art of emotional independence. It's about taking back control of your feelings, no longer allowing external factors to dictate your inner state. So, let's embark on this journey together as we explore how Buddhism offers profound insights into mastering our emotions. Lesson 1: Understanding emotions. Emotions are like colorful waves in the vast ocean of our minds, sometimes gentle and calm, other times turbulent and overwhelming. They are the inner weather that shapes our experiences and colors our perceptions. But what exactly are emotions? Simply put, they are our body's way of responding to the world around us, arising from a complex interplay of thoughts, feelings, and bodily sensations. Consider a moment when you felt a sudden rush of joy upon receiving good news, or a pang of sadness when saying goodbye to a loved one. These are examples of emotions in action, shaping our thoughts, behaviors, and interactions with others. Yet, despite their ubiquity, emotions can often feel mysterious and uncontrollable, leaving us feeling at their mercy. To understand emotions better, it's helpful to think of them as messengers, delivering important information about our internal state and external environment. When we feel fear, for instance, it may signal a potential threat, prompting us to take action to protect ourselves. Similarly, feelings of love and connection can indicate the presence of safety and belonging. However, emotions can also be misleading, clouding our judgment and leading us astray. Have you ever made a decision in the heat of anger, or found yourself overwhelmed by anxiety in anticipation of an event? These are moments when emotions can hijack our rational thinking, causing us to act impulsively or irrationally. But here's the thing: emotions, as powerful as they may seem, are not in control. We have the capacity to observe and understand them, to ride the waves of our feelings without being swept away. This is where emotional intelligence comes into play, the ability to recognize, understand, and manage our own emotions as well as those of others. Imagine a surfer navigating the waves with skill and grace, riding the highs and lows with confidence and ease. In the same way, we can learn to navigate our emotional landscape, cultivating awareness and resilience along the way. By tuning into our emotions with mindfulness and compassion, we can begin to unravel their grip on our minds and hearts. But how exactly do we do this? How do we unravel the tangled web of emotions that often leaves us feeling overwhelmed and out of control? This is where the wisdom of Buddhism offers valuable insights, providing practical tools and teachings for understanding the nature of emotions and finding freedom amidst their ebb and flow. In the following sections, we will delve deeper into the Buddhist perspective on emotions, exploring concepts such as impermanence, non-attachment, and mindfulness. By weaving together ancient wisdom with modern psychology, we can uncover new ways of relating to our emotions and reclaiming our inner peace. So let's embark on this journey together, diving into the depths of our emotional landscape with curiosity and courage. Lesson 2: The influence of others. Have you ever found yourself feeling upset because of something someone else said or did? It's like they hold the remote control to your emotions, changing the channels whenever they please. But here's the thing: you have the power to change that. Picture this: you're having a great day, feeling on top of the world. Then, a friend criticizes your work and suddenly you're plunged into a pool of self-doubt and frustration. It's as if their words have a magical spell over you. But why does this happen? Human beings are social creatures. We naturally crave acceptance and validation from others. So when someone we care about says or does something hurtful, it hits us right where it hurts the most, our emotions. We let their opinions dictate how we feel about ourselves, giving them control over our happiness. Think of it like a puppeteer pulling the strings. When we allow others to dictate our emotions, we're essentially handing them the strings to our happiness, letting them manipulate us at will. But it doesn't have to be this way. Imagine if you could reclaim control over your emotions like a superhero breaking free from mind control. You'd no longer be at the mercy of others' words and actions. You'd be the master of your own emotional destiny. But how do you do that? How do you break free from the grip of external influence and reclaim your emotional sovereignty? It all starts with awareness. By recognizing the power that others hold over your emotions, you can begin to take back control. Instead of reacting instinctively to their words and actions, you can pause, take a step back, and evaluate your response. Are you allowing their opinion to define your worth? Are you letting their negativity infect your inner peace? Buddhism teaches us the importance of self-awareness and mindfulness. By observing our thoughts and emotions without judgment, we can gain insight into their true nature. We begin to see that our emotions are like passing clouds in the sky, temporary and ever-changing. But it's not just about awareness, it's also about empowerment. Once you recognize the influence that others have over your emotions, you can start setting boundaries. You can choose whose opinions matter to you and whose don't. You can surround yourself with people who uplift and support you rather than those who bring you down. It's like building an emotional fortress around yourself, a shield against negativity and criticism. You become immune to the whims of others, standing strong in your own truth and self-worth. Of course, it's easier said than done. Breaking free from the shackles of external influence takes time and practice. But with dedication and perseverance, you can reclaim control over your emotions and live a life of emotional freedom. So the next time someone tries to push your buttons, remember, you hold the power. Don't let others control your emotions. Take back the remote control and choose happiness. Lesson 3: The Buddhist Perspective on Emotions. Buddhism offers profound insights into understanding and managing our emotions. At its core lies the recognition that emotions are natural, but how we respond to them determines our peace of mind. In Buddhism, emotions are not viewed as good or bad, but rather as part of the human experience. They arise and pass away, much like clouds in the sky. Central to Buddhist teachings is the concept of impermanence. This teaches us that nothing in life, including our emotions, is permanent. Understanding impermanence can help us navigate through difficult emotions with greater ease. When we realize that all emotions are transient, we become less attached to them. Another key aspect of the Buddhist perspective is the understanding of suffering. Buddhism teaches that attachment and craving lead to suffering. When we become overly attached to our emotions or seek to control them, we create suffering for ourselves. By letting go of attachment, we can find freedom from the grip of our emotions. Mindfulness plays a crucial role in the Buddhist approach to emotions. Mindfulness involves being fully present in the moment, observing our thoughts and feelings without judgment. Through mindfulness practices such as meditation, we can develop greater awareness of our emotions and learn to respond to them skillfully. Compassion is also emphasized in Buddhist teachings. Cultivating compassion towards ourselves and others can soften the impact of challenging emotions. When we approach our emotions with kindness and understanding, we create space for healing and transformation. Buddhism teaches that our true nature is inherently peaceful and joyful. By letting go of the grasping mind and returning to our innate state of being, we can find refuge from the turmoil of our emotions. This does not mean suppressing or denying our emotions, but rather acknowledging them with wisdom and compassion. In summary, the Buddhist perspective on emotions offers profound wisdom for navigating the ups and downs of life. By understanding the impermanent nature of emotions, cultivating mindfulness, practicing compassion, and embracing our inherent peace, we can free ourselves from the grip of emotional turmoil and find true inner freedom. Lesson 4: Impermanence and Emotions. In the vast tapestry of life, nothing remains static. Change is the only constant, and this truth holds profound implications for our emotions. Picture the waves of the ocean constantly shifting, rising, and falling. Just as the waves come and go, so do our feelings. This impermanence is not a cause for despair, but rather a source of liberation. Consider a time when you felt overwhelmed by sadness or anger. In that moment, it may have seemed like those emotions would last forever, but they didn't, did they? They ebbed away like the tide receding from the shore. Understanding impermanence can help us weather the storms of our emotions with greater resilience. In Buddhism, impermanence, or anicca, is one of the three marks of existence alongside suffering and non-self. It teaches us that everything in life is transient, including our emotions. When we grasp this concept deeply, we become less attached to fleeting states of mind, finding peace in the knowledge that all things are subject to change. Imagine holding a handful of sand. No matter how tightly you clench your fist, the grains will eventually slip through your fingers. Similarly, trying to cling to pleasant emotions or push away unpleasant ones only leads to suffering. Instead, we can learn to observe our emotions with curiosity and acceptance, knowing that they will pass in their own time. Think of a beautiful sunset. Its beauty lies in its fleeting nature. If the sun were to remain suspended on the horizon indefinitely, would we appreciate its splendor as much? Emotions, like sunsets, gain their richness from their impermanence. By embracing this truth, we can find beauty in the ever-changing landscape of our inner world. Imagine a leaf floating down a stream. It may encounter obstacles along the way, causing it to swirl and eddy, but ultimately it continues its journey downstream. Our emotions are like that leaf, flowing freely through the currents of our experiences, sometimes turbulent, sometimes calm, but always in motion. Reflect on a time when you felt overwhelmed by worry or anxiety. In that moment, it may have felt like the weight of the world was bearing down on you. But just as storm clouds pass, so too do our anxious thoughts. Impermanence reminds us that even our most troubling emotions are not permanent fixtures in our lives. Consider the changing seasons. Each has its own unique beauty, from the vibrant colors of autumn to the delicate blossoms of spring. Similarly, our emotions wax and wane with the passage of time, each offering its own lessons and insights. By embracing impermanence, we can learn to appreciate the richness of our emotional landscape. Think of a butterfly emerging from its chrysalis. In that moment of transformation, it sheds its former self, unfurling its wings to take flight. Likewise, when we release our attachment to fixed identities and emotions, we open ourselves to the possibility of growth and renewal. Imagine standing beneath a starlit sky. Each twinkling star is a reminder of the vastness of the universe and our place within it. In the same way, impermanence invites us to widen our perspective, recognizing that our individual experiences are but fleeting moments in the grand symphony of existence. Reflect on the changing colors of a sunset. As the sun dips below the horizon, the sky is painted in hues of pink, orange, and purple, each shade more breathtaking than the last. Similarly, our emotions contain multitudes, ranging from joy to sorrow, from love to fear. By embracing impermanence, we can find beauty in the complexity of our inner world. Consider the dance of a flame. It flickers and dances in the breeze, casting shadows that dance across the walls. Our emotions are like that flame, fluid and ever-changing, responding to the currents of our lives. By embracing impermanence, we can learn to flow with the rhythm of our emotions, finding peace in their transient nature. Lesson 5: Non-Attachment and Emotional Freedom. In Buddhism, there's a powerful concept called non-attachment. It's like holding a butterfly gently in your hand. You appreciate its beauty, but you don't grasp onto it too tightly because you know it's fleeting. Similarly, non-attachment teaches us to appreciate the moments and emotions in our lives without clinging to them desperately. When we cling too tightly to our emotions, we suffer because we're constantly afraid of losing them. Non-attachment allows us to experience emotional freedom. Imagine carrying a heavy backpack full of worries, regrets, and fears wherever you go. That's what happens when we're attached to our emotions. but with non-attachment, we can lighten our load. We learn to let go of what no longer serves us, freeing ourselves from unnecessary burdens. Non-attachment doesn't mean suppressing or denying our emotions. Instead, it means acknowledging them without letting them dictate our happiness or peace of mind. When we observe our emotions with detachment, we gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and the nature of our feelings. Think of a flowing river. Emotions are like the water, constantly changing and flowing. When we're attached to our emotions, it's like trying to hold onto the water in the river. But when we practice non-attachment, we become like the riverbanks, allowing the emotions to flow through us without resistance. Non-attachment also helps us navigate life's ups and downs with greater ease. Just as a surfer rides the waves, we learn to ride the waves of our emotions without being swept away by them. We develop resilience and inner strength. One of the keys to practicing non-attachment is mindfulness. By being present in the moment and observing our thoughts and feelings without judgment, we create space between ourselves and our emotions. This space allows us to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Non-attachment doesn't mean we become indifferent or apathetic. On the contrary, it enables us to engage with life more fully because we're not controlled by our emotions. We can still experience joy, love, and passion, but we're not dependent on them for our sense of well-being. Imagine being in a boat on a calm lake. When a storm arises, the waves may toss the boat around, but if we anchor ourselves securely, we won't be swept away. Non-attachment is our anchor amidst the storms of life, providing stability and peace. By cultivating non-attachment, we learn to let go of expectations and attachments that cause suffering. We accept life as it is, embracing both the joys and the challenges with equanimity. In summary, non-attachment is a powerful practice that leads to emotional freedom and inner peace. By letting go of our attachments to fleeting emotions, we can experience life more fully and authentically. It's a journey of self-discovery and liberation that brings profound transformation and joy. Lesson 6: Mindfulness in Emotion Regulation. In the hustle and bustle of daily life, it's easy to get swept away by our emotions. But what if there was a way to navigate these turbulent waters with more ease and grace? Enter mindfulness, a powerful tool that can help us regulate our emotions and cultivate inner peace. At its core, mindfulness is about being present in the moment, fully aware of our thoughts, feelings, and sensations without judgment. It's like shining a spotlight on our inner world, allowing us to observe our emotions with clarity and compassion. Imagine you're caught in a whirlwind of anger or sadness. Instead of getting carried away by these emotions, mindfulness invites you to take a step back and simply observe them. You might notice the tightness in your chest or the racing thoughts in your mind. By acknowledging these feelings without resistance, you create space for them to naturally arise and pass away. One simple way to practice mindfulness is through meditation. Find a quiet place, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. Notice the sensations as you inhale and exhale, letting go of any distractions that arise. When your mind wanders, as it inevitably will, gently guide your attention back to your breath without judgment. But mindfulness isn't just about formal meditation, it's a way of life. You can bring awareness to everyday activities like eating, walking, or even washing dishes. Pay attention to the sights, sounds, and sensations around you, fully immersing yourself in the present moment. Through consistent practice, mindfulness rewires the brain, strengthening neural pathways associated with attention and emotional regulation. Studies have shown that regular mindfulness practice can reduce stress, anxiety, and depression while enhancing overall well-being. As you become more adept at mindfulness, you'll notice a newfound sense of balance and resilience in the face of life's challenges. Rather than reacting impulsively to every emotion that arises, you'll respond with wisdom and discernment. In essence, mindfulness empowers you to be the master of your own emotions rather than letting them control you. By cultivating a deeper awareness of your inner landscape, you can navigate the ups and downs of life with greater ease and equanimity. So, the next time you find yourself swept away by a wave of emotion, remember the power of mindfulness. Take a deep breath, Anchor yourself in the present moment and watch as the storm clouds gradually dissipate, leaving behind a sky of calm clarity. Lesson 7. Compassion and Empathy. Compassion and empathy are like rays of sunlight warming the heart. In the journey of emotional independence, they serve as guiding stars. But what are compassion and empathy, and why are they crucial? Picture a moment when someone lent you a listening ear during your toughest times. Remember the warmth that flooded your soul, the sense of relief that washed over you. That's compassion in action. It's the gentle hand on your shoulder when the world feels heavy. And empathy? It's the ability to walk a mile in someone else's shoes, to understand their joys and sorrows as if they were your own. In the vast tapestry of human emotions, compassion and empathy stand out as beacons of light. They bridge the chasm between individuals, fostering connections that transcend words. When we cultivate compassion, we open our hearts to the suffering of others. We acknowledge their pain, not with pity, but with a genuine desire to alleviate it. Empathy, on the other hand, empowers us to step into another's reality, to see the world through their eyes. It's a transformative journey that breeds understanding and unity. But why does Buddhism place such emphasis on compassion and empathy? The answer lies in the core teachings of the Buddha. At the heart of Buddhism lies the concept of interconnectedness, the understanding that all beings are bound together in a web of existence. When we hurt others, we hurt ourselves. Conversely, when we alleviate the suffering of others, we heal ourselves. Compassion and empathy are the threads that weave this intricate web, binding us to one another in compassion's embrace. In the pursuit of emotional independence, compassion and empathy act as potent antidotes to the poison of ego. They remind us that we are not islands unto ourselves, but interconnected beings sharing this journey called life. When we extend compassion to others, we free ourselves from the shackles of self-centeredness. Our hearts expand, encompassing not just our own joys and sorrows, but those of all beings. The practice of compassion and empathy is not reserved for saints and sages, but accessible to all who seek it. It begins with a simple shift in perspective, a willingness to see beyond the surface and into the depths of another's soul. It's about listening with an open heart, offering a kind word, or lending a helping hand. These small acts of kindness ripple outward, creating waves of positive change in the world. In the garden of the heart, compassion and empathy are the seeds from which love and understanding bloom. As we nurture these seeds with care and attention, they grow into mighty trees, shading us from the harshness of life's storms. And just as a tree bears fruit, so too do compassion and empathy bear the fruits of emotional independence, peace, joy, and liberation from the chains of attachment. So let us water the seeds of compassion and empathy within us, tending to them with love and kindness. Let us reach out to others with open arms, offering them the gift of our presence and understanding. In doing so, we not only heal the wounds of the world, but also find healing for ourselves. For in the end, it is through compassion and empathy that we discover the true meaning of emotional independence, a heart free to love, to empathize, and to soar. Lesson 8. Practicing emotional independence. Have you ever felt like your emotions are controlled by the opinions and actions of others? It's a common experience. But what if you could break free from that cycle and cultivate emotional independence? In this part, we'll explore some simple yet powerful ways to practice emotional independence inspired by Buddhist teachings. Imagine a scenario where someone criticizes you. Maybe it's a friend, a family member, or a coworker. Their words sting, and you find yourself feeling hurt and defensive. But what if instead of reacting impulsively, you paused and took a deep breath? This moment of mindfulness is the first step towards emotional independence. Buddhism teaches us the importance of self-awareness. By tuning into our thoughts and feelings without judgment, we can gain insight into our emotional patterns. So, the next time you feel overwhelmed by emotions, try to observe them with curiosity. Notice how they arise and eventually fade away like passing clouds in the sky. One of the fundamental principles of Buddhism is non-attachment. It doesn't mean avoiding emotions altogether, but rather understanding that clinging to them causes suffering. So, when you experience joy, savor it without grasping onto it. And when you encounter sadness or anger, acknowledge them without letting them consume you. Compassion is another key aspect of emotional independence. By cultivating compassion for ourselves and others, we develop resilience in the face of adversity. So, instead of harboring resentment towards those who trigger negative emotions, try to understand their perspective with empathy. Practicing gratitude is a powerful antidote to feelings of inadequacy or jealousy. Take a moment each day to reflect on the things you're thankful for, no matter how small. It could be as simple as a warm cup of tea or a friendly smile from a stranger. Emotional independence doesn't mean shutting yourself off from others. In fact, it's quite the opposite. By nurturing healthy relationships based on mutual respect and understanding, you create a supportive environment where you can freely express yourself without fear of judgment. Remember, you are not defined by your emotions. They come and go like waves in the ocean. By cultivating a sense of inner peace and stability, you can navigate life's ups and downs with grace and resilience. So, the next time you find yourself at the mercy of your emotions, remember these teachings. Practice mindfulness, cultivate compassion, and embrace the beauty of impermanence. In doing so, you'll discover the true freedom that comes from emotional independence. Lesson 9. Cultivating inner peace. In the journey to emotional independence, cultivating inner peace is paramount. Picture your mind as a garden. Just as a gardener tends to plants, you must nurture your thoughts and emotions. Inner peace is the fertile soil in which positivity and tranquility can thrive. Planting seeds of positivity. Start by planting seeds of positivity in your mind. Replace negative thoughts with affirmations of self-worth and optimism. Believe in your ability to create a peaceful inner landscape. Mindful awareness. Practice mindful awareness to cultivate inner peace. Be present in the moment, observing your thoughts and emotions without judgment. Mindfulness allows you to respond to situations with clarity and composure. Breathing exercises. Utilize breathing exercises to anchor yourself in the present moment. Deep, intentional breaths can calm the mind and body, promoting a sense of inner tranquility. Visualizations. Engage in visualizations that evoke feelings of peace and serenity. Picture yourself in a peaceful setting, surrounded by nature's beauty. Visualization techniques can help you access a state of deep relaxation. Gratitude practice. Cultivate inner peace through gratitude practice. Take time each day to reflect on the things you are grateful for. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is lacking to what is abundant in your life. Letting go of control. Release the need to control every aspect of your life. Understand that some things are beyond your control, and trying to micromanage only leads to stress and anxiety. Surrender to the flow of life. Simplify your life. Simplify your life to create space for inner peace. Declutter your physical environment and streamline your commitments. Embrace minimalism and prioritize what truly brings you joy. Disconnecting from distractions. Limit exposure to distractions that disrupt your inner peace. Set boundaries with technology and allocate time for solitude and reflection. Disconnecting allows you to reconnect with yourself. Self-care rituals. Incorporate self-care rituals into your daily routine. Whether it's taking a warm bath, practicing yoga, or indulging in a hobby, prioritize activities that nourish your mind, body, and soul. Setting boundaries. Establish boundaries to protect your emotional well-being. Learn to say no to things that drain your energy or compromise your values. Setting boundaries fosters self-respect and preserves inner peace. Embracing imperfection. Embrace imperfection as part of the human experience. Let go of unrealistic expectations and accept yourself as you are. Embracing imperfection frees you from the pressure to be flawless. Forgiveness. Practice forgiveness as a pathway to inner peace. Release resentment and grudges that weigh heavy on your heart. Forgiveness liberates you from the burden of carrying past hurts. Connecting with nature. Connect with the healing power of nature to restore inner peace. Spend time outdoors, immersing yourself in the beauty of the natural world. Nature has a calming effect on the mind and spirit. Nurturing relationships. Cultivate nurturing relationships that support your journey to inner peace. Surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire you. Healthy connections foster a sense of belonging and acceptance. Embracing stillness. Embrace moments of stillness to recharge and rejuvenate your spirit. Find solace in quiet contemplation and meditation. Stillness allows you to tune into your inner wisdom. Practicing acceptance. Practice acceptance of yourself and others without judgment. Acceptance doesn't mean resignation, it means acknowledging reality as it is. When you accept things as they are, you create space for inner peace to flourish. Finding purpose. Discover and pursue your life's purpose to cultivate inner peace. Engage in activities that align with your values and passions. Living with purpose infuses your life with meaning and fulfillment. Fostering compassion. Cultivate compassion for yourself and others. Recognize that everyone is fighting their own battles and extend kindness and understanding. Compassion cultivates a sense of interconnectedness and peace. Practicing patience. Cultivate patience as you navigate life's challenges. Understand that growth and transformation take time. Patience allows you to approach difficulties with equanimity and grace. Celebrating progress. Celebrate your progress on the journey to inner peace. Acknowledge the steps you've taken and the obstacles you've overcome. Every moment of peace is a testament to your strength and resilience. Lesson 10. Overcoming external influence. Imagine a life where your emotions are not swayed by the opinions or actions of others. It's like standing strong amidst a storm, unwavering and calm. External influences are like waves crashing against a rock. They can either erode our resolve or strengthen it. But how do we remain steadfast in the face of such powerful forces? Buddhism offers invaluable wisdom on this matter. It teaches us to cultivate a deep sense of inner peace that is not disturbed by external circumstances. One key practice is mindfulness. By being fully present in the moment, we can observe our emotions without being swept away by them. Mindfulness allows us to recognize when external influences start to affect us, giving us the power to choose how to respond. Another essential concept is non-attachment. When we are not attached to outcomes or the opinions of others, we are free to be ourselves without fear. It's like holding a bird in your hand. If you grip too tightly, you crush it, but if you hold it gently, it stays with you willingly. Compassion also plays a vital role. By understanding that everyone is struggling with their own battles, we can respond to negativity with kindness. Instead of reacting defensively, we can choose to respond with empathy and understanding, diffusing tension and fostering harmony. Remember, we cannot control how others behave, but we can control how we react. Our power lies in our response. Cultivating emotional independence is a journey that requires practice and patience. It's not about suppressing emotions, but understanding and mastering them. Just like a muscle, our emotional resilience strengthens with each mindful decision we make. Surround yourself with positive influences, people who uplift and inspire you to be the best version of yourself. Create boundaries to protect your emotional well-being, knowing when to step back from toxic situations or relationships. Learn to differentiate between constructive criticism and destructive criticism. Accept feedback graciously, but don't let it define your worth. Focus on your inner growth and development rather than seeking validation from others. Your worth comes from within, not from external approval. Embrace the impermanence of life. Just as storms pass, so do challenges and hardships. Trust that you have the strength to weather any storm that comes your way. Practice gratitude daily, focusing on the blessings in your life rather than dwelling on what you lack. Gratitude shifts your perspective from scarcity to abundance. And finally, be gentle with yourself. You're only human, and it's okay to have moments of vulnerability. Treat yourself with the same kindness and compassion you offer to others. As you journey towards emotional independence, remember that it's not about being unaffected by the world, but being empowered to navigate it with grace and resilience. Conclusion. In the journey of understanding emotions and reclaiming our emotional independence, remember this: your emotions are your own. They are precious, unique, and deeply personal. No one else should have the power to dictate how you feel or how you respond to life's ups and downs. By embracing the wisdom of Buddhism, we learn that true freedom lies in non-attachment, in letting go of the need for external validation or control. Instead, we can find solace in the present moment, cultivating mindfulness and compassion for ourselves and others. It's crucial to recognize that this journey is not always easy. It requires practice, patience, and self-reflection. But with dedication and perseverance, you can gradually loosen the grip of external influences on your emotions, finding greater peace and contentment within yourself. So, as you embark on this path of emotional liberation, I invite you to start small. Take moments throughout your day to check in with yourself, to breathe deeply, and to observe your thoughts and feelings without judgment. Find support in communities that share your values and aspirations, whether it's through meditation groups, online forums, or simply conversations with like-minded friends. Together, we can empower each other to embrace our emotions authentically and fearlessly. Remember, you are not alone in this journey. Every step you take towards reclaiming your emotional sovereignty brings you closer to a life of inner peace and fulfillment. So, let's embark on this adventure together with open hearts and minds as we weave the threads of wisdom into the fabric of our lives. Thank you for joining us on Wisdom Woven. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to continue exploring the depths of wisdom and self-discovery. Together, let's create a world where emotional freedom reigns supreme.